Hey everyone, this is Shane,
And this is Nolan.
and you're listening to the Catfish Connection,
Episode
7. Alright, Nolan, you had something you want to talk about?
I want to talk about, I like Panda Express.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't like Panda Express. Some people call it, the Taco Bell of Chinese food. But I think it's good. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a slave to those cream cheese rangoons, dude.
Mm.
Those cream cheese rangoons, you could charge me $500 and I would fork over the money because those rangoons, bro. Okay, and my favorite part about the rangoons is I like the sweet and sour sauce on the rangoons. I dip my rangoons,
Interesting.
and so they have these little cups, little plastic sauce cups, like you get fry sauce in.
Right.
And sometimes, they'll give you like a decent, amount of sweet and sour sauce. And then about 50% of the time, they will drop like a milliliter, a tiny amount of sweet and sour sauce in the cup. There is so little sweet and sour sauce that I can barely reach it with my rangoons. I actually have to bite the ends off because they have these little corners sticking off. Have you seen one?
Yeah, I think so.
I bite the corners off so that I can actually fit it into the cup deep enough that it can actually touch the sweet and sour sauce. And then after like 2 dips, there's 3 rangoons, and usually the third rangoon gets nothing because I run out of sauce because they put so little in there. I'm like, Jesus Christ. This is the amount of sweet and sour sauce you would give to a small animal. A bird would eat that amount of sweet and sour sauce.
You just gotta ask for extra sauce, man.
Dude, I have said, can I get like a full cup of sweet and sour?
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, I think the person who gives you your food just grabs a cup at random, and they haven't communicated at all with the person who's taking your order.
That makes sense.
Right? So they're like, yeah, sure, because they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So they just say yeah, and then the guy puts it in the bag, and they tie the bag, like.
Right.
So you can't really like see it and be like, oh, this is not that much, because I don't want to be one of those people who they hand me my food and then I'm like, 1 second.
Right.
Let me look at it real quick, and then I dig through the bag. I've had people do that to me at Pizza Hut, which is why I don't do this, because it would drive me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, I think you have a right to do that.
Yeah.
But I think that you're being intentionally, what's the word? You're being intentionally stubborn about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not just like, oh, I want to make sure that I'm getting my, you're not like, unless you're like really just strapped for cash and you just like really want to make sure that there better be fucking mushrooms on this pizza or my children are going to starve to death.
Yeah.
But there are people who, especially in the hotels, because people in hotels don't give a fuck. Okay? The people who order pizza at a hotel, they're in a town that they're never going to see you ever again, because they live in, Oklahoma or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're just here for a couple days. So they don't care about you any more than they care about the dirt under their feet. Okay? So this guy ordered a pizza, and he was at the Red Lion Hotel. And so I drove on over to the Red Lion Hotel with his pepperoni pizza and some wings. Not a complicated order.
Mm-hmm.
A pepperoni pizza and some wings. And I say that'll be X amount of dollars, and he gives me the money, And then I try and hand him the receipt to get it out of my hands because I'm holding, and he just stands there while I'm like holding out this receipt for him so that I can get the pizza out of the box. Because I'm like, I'll give this to you so that my hands are free, and then get the pizza out of the box. So I'm not like having to like have the receipt in my hand and trying to grab the pizza and the receipt falls on the, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just like, here's your receipt. And he just stands there and looks at me. And then I'm like, here's your receipt. Trying to explain. Take this piece of paper from my hands.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't want the receipt. I want the pizza. And I said, okay. And so I just put the receipt in my pocket and then hand him the pizza. Okay. And then I'm about to close up the bag and turn around because I'm like, my job's done here.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, hold it. And I'm like, excuse me? And he's like, let me take a look at this first before you leave. And I say, okay. Fucking mister. Jesus Christ. And then he takes it all the way back to like another table on the other side of the room and like opens the pizza and looks at it for like a couple seconds. And I'm like, it's just a pepperoni pizza. What details are you trying to soak up from this viewing experience,
Mm-hmm.
But and then he walks up to the door. He walks back to the door, and he says, "All right," and I take that to mean the pizza's fine. It's got pepperonis on it, And so I say, "Have a good day," because I'm still being polite with this guy. I say, "Have a nice night," or whatever, and then he just like. Most people, like, close their door. He's one of those people who, he just, like, pushes it and lets it slam shut in my face. And I'm like, fuck you. Under my breath. Like, just loud enough that I think if he was, like, really listening, he probably could have heard me. But I'm like, what's he gonna do,
Yeah.
Fight me? I wish, so...
I think that people don't realize that if you call back with a mistake after they've already left, they're much more likely to apologetically give you better rewards. Than if you complain. If you are like, hey, this pizza's messed up, they'll just remake you the pizza. Yeah. But if you like call back and say, my pizza's messed up, they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, let me give you some wings, a breadstick, and that pizza you wanted.
Yeah, dude, it's like if the pizza's messed up, I'm more than happy to I'll bring you another one. I had a lady who lived way out in the boonies in Pasco, and I had to drive. It was weird because I had to go on all these back roads that were like spiraling in on each other. And so physically, like as the crow flies, this place wasn't that far from Pizza Hut, but because I had to go in like this circuitous maze of the back streets, it took me about 20 minutes to get from the store to her house, which is pretty far. Most of my deliveries were like 20-minute round trip max. Occasionally I would get like a 30-minute round trip, which it means 15 minutes there, but this lady, it was 20 minutes there. Okay, so I drive all the way out to her house, and I got there, and I had forgotten her drink, and she was like, "Oh, I ordered a drink," and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot it. I can go back there and I can get you another one, for free," and she was like, "Thank you so much," and I was like. Yeah, sorry
that's
again.
How it should.
And I was like, I'm so sorry. I totally made a mistake. I'll get you your drink. We're not gonna charge you for the drink. Like being, because it's like if you're nice to me, I'm gonna do everything in my power to like help you out. Because it is partially my fault if any of the orders go out wrong, because we're supposed to check, you know. Although most of the time, the drivers, they don't actually like look at the pizzas, you know. They'll look in the bag to make sure that there, you know, is
The
2
correct
larges and a
number,
medium.
yeah.
You know, but we're not gonna like open each box and be like, all right, that's the pepperoni and mushroom, and you know, we're not gonna look at it in that much detail because we're trying to get it out there. You know, we have a time limit. So, you know, if there's an ingredient wrong, I don't really take credit for that. That's more on the cooks, right? But if I forget a drink, you know, that's totally my fault.
Right.
That's my job, is to get the drinks for the orders. So yeah, it's like, if you're nice to me, I want to help you out. You know, but if you're just like let me look at this pizza first, peasant, you know, or you know, it's always people in hotels. Because the people in houses, the worst that happens is they'll just like be kind of like brief with you, because they just don't want to like talk to you. You know, they want to go back inside and, you know, hang out. They don't want to hang around with the pizza boy on their front porch. You know.
That's understandable.
Although I did have one bad experience at this guy's house, because it was pouring rain, and so I was out in the rain all day. I was to the point where even with like I had the jacket on, my clothes were just wet. You know, I was just damp the whole time. And I bring pizza to this guy's house, okay? And first of all, he doesn't have like an overhang on his roof. So the porch, I'm still getting rained on. There's no eaves, you know, like covering me, sheltering me from the rain while I'm on his porch. So I'm standing on this guy's porch. I knock on the door. He comes out, and I am actively getting rained on. And I start like, you know, I get him to sign the receipt, and I'm like getting all the stuff out of the bag. And then he goes, "Can you hurry it up? I don't want to stay out here for too long." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, are you joking? You're not even getting wet. He was like, can you hurry it up? It's kind of cold out here. I don't want to stay out here too long. I was like, I don't want to stay out here too long. I'm just trying. Do you want me to just like throw the pizzas into your house as fast as like I'm trying to just do my job, bro. I am freezing. This is winter rain, you know? I'm like, I am freezing my ass off. I am wet. I am on like hour 5 of a 6-hour shift. And I'm just like, I couldn't believe what I heard. And then he didn't tip me. And I was like, it drove me insane. And that like made me like brood in anger for like the rest of my shift. I was just like wandering around the Pizza Hut like, I don't want to be out here too long. Fuck you, man. No.
We're just a couple of deadbeats, huh? Talking about, reminiscing about jobs that we don't have anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have a job though. You have a great job.
Yeah.
So,
but
I'm
retelling stories about like a job that neither of us have had in like. Yeah. Well, haven't had in like 6 months. I haven't had in like a year.
Yeah. I would gladly go back. I would see. I wouldn't. The problem is like, I actually wouldn't mind like working at Pizza Hut in Pasco, but I don't want to work at the one in Sela.
Yeah. Like it would be too overshadowed by how glorious it used to be.
Yeah. It'd
be so depressing.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I've thought about seeing if I can get like a full-time job there at Pasco, and then just moving back to Pasco. But I mean, you know, I've been working at Pizza Hut for like, Pizza Hut's the only job I've ever had. Yeah. So I'm like, let's stop working at Pizza Hut. Let's find somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I'm also getting to the point where I'm like, I kind of want literally any job right now.
Yeah.
So
by the time that it probably shouldn't be too much longer now that this area is mandating masks for business transactions, because then that hopefully the numbers will start going down and we'll be able to go into phase 2 and more businesses will be hiring. And then at that point, hopefully you can find somewhere not have to worry about, and hopefully it'll be somewhere more in your field, something that's productive.
Yeah, I still need a, cause the other thing is that before the COVID thing, I was planning on trying to get a job in like the entertainment industry at like theaters and stuff, like Capitol Theater, like, you know, not like a movie theater for those who aren't Yakumites, but like a play theater and like a venue. But anyways, and now those places are all closed.
Oh yeah,
because there are no live events,
and they will be for like probably at least 6 more months.
Yeah, so I definitely can't get a job there. It's a pretty tough time right now. Also, speaking of Yakima requiring masks, I want to get like a gas mask and just like commit to the full post-apocalyptic vibes.
Put on like a duster, like that's really old.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, and just like a gas mask and just wander around and be like, it's the end times, baby. Let's do this. You have like
basically Mad Max cosplay, kind of like clothes. Shit.
You know, I've never actually seen Mad Max.
I've only seen the new one, but I haven't. There's old ones that are. I haven't seen those.
I mean, they're pretty famous movies.
Yeah.
Right? But
and the new Mad Max, it was really cool, like visually, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on. It was a cool apocalyptic movie, but like, I don't know, I thought the plot it just didn't interest me or entertain me in any way. Like, it kind of lost me. There's too many just, like, I don't know. It was, it was like really lacked something. I don't know. And a lot of people probably don't agree with me on this.
Yeah, I don't know. Was it how was it received by the general public?
I mean, critical people like Scott loves it, and I'm pretty sure that it got an Oscar or it got some sort of academic award for like visual design of some sort.
Interesting.
And I concede that part was great and all that, but I just I don't know if what people thought of the actual story.
Yeah, because I never really heard that much about it. So I mean, obviously it's not like it was like a blockbuster, you know. Like,
yeah, I guess
it's not like because
it's not like one of the like biggest movies on this public conscience of all time, you know.
Yeah, definitely not. I think I've heard more about Aquaman.
So maybe that does like give insight into how entertaining it was. It was like it was awesome to watch, but it wasn't like entertaining enough long term to make people really remember it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same problem that like video games kind of have nowadays. Is people just care about graphics.
Yeah.
And so they'll just release dumb games that are stupid and
people keep eating them up.
Yeah, and just have great graphics. And it's like, dude, I'll take a game with shitty graphics and a great story and great gameplay any day of the week.
Me too.
I will take. I mean, there are lots of really great games that have really simple graphics, that have like retro graphics.
I think all of my favorite games don't have that great. I haven't had there isn't a single like new game that is like high def realistic that is like one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
You know?
Because they just become like kind of a novelty. Like, look how great the graphics are. Like, it's just a showcase.
My favorite games are all either like really old or they're like animated story based.
Yeah, like stylized more.
Exactly.
Like Persona, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, because the only game that I can think of that's like high graphic is that you've played a lot is like God of War.
Oh.
Because that has good graphics.
I suppose, yeah.
But
that's
it's
true.
also fairly stylized.
Yeah.
And
because it's not like gritty like Black Ops kind of, you know.
Yeah.
It's like where it's like, or Forza where it's just like they're pouring their heart and soul into the fucking graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
And don't get me wrong, like I think it's cool seeing the how good the graphics are in some of these games like Forza.
Mm-hmm.
But like if the gameplay isn't there, then I could not care any less about the graphics.
And it's funny that because one of your examples was God of War, and that's an exclusive.
Mm.
So that's not, and the Xbox is revered as like the one that does graphics.
Yeah.
PlayStation is like considered inferior in that way, and it's still you didn't notice because the graphics were good enough that you didn't care.
Yeah, and at a certain point, like what's you know between like there's not that much difference between like great graphics and like amazing graphics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's a point at which it's like graphics look great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't complain. Now, what's the story like?
Yeah.
You know, and if you just like take it from like great to like amazing, I'm like, well, it's better.
Yeah.
You know, is it that much better? I don't know. You know,
you're like, wow, this game looks awesome, and then you play like 5 hours of it, and then throw it in the drawer.
Yeah.
And then you're on to the next one.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think video games gain that much from just being photorealistic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's a cool thing to have. But, like, especially, like, the Minecraft ray tracing beta came out. And it's like, look, Minecraft has super realistic lighting now. And I'm like, I mean, that's cool in a novel way, but
Minecraft.
But it's also Minecraft. You know, and the whole point of Minecraft is that it has simple graphics and it just really great gameplay and a great soundtrack, you know? And so it's like, what's the point of like trying to get this like photorealistic lighting in a game where the whole point is that it's just like relaxed and simplified into like the core elements, and that's all you really need, you know? Because I'm not going to say it doesn't look cool. I've seen like the screenshots and like the demos of like the ray tracing,
right.
And I think it looks really cool. But is it going to add to my experience of the game that much? Probably not.
Maybe they're just like, well, we already created the perfect game and we have all these developers and nothing to do, so I guess we can work on this.
Yeah. Well, they did create the perfect game, and then they added so much stuff.
Yeah.
That
kind of takes
honestly,
away from it. It's too confusing.
I've just been playing 1.6.4 because 1.6.4 I think is one of the best versions of Minecraft, because it's like it was just advanced enough that you know, they added some really cool things, and without it being like I don't know, it just is like a nice middle ground between older versions and newer versions. I really like 1.6.4, you know, because there's phantoms. There are no phantoms.
Yeah.
And there are no horses.
Oh yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the horses.
I thought it was kind of weird when they added horses. That was after my time.
Yeah, because
playing Minecraft.
Because I played 1.5.2 forever. Okay, 1.5.2 was my version, and hold on. Nice. Did I clip it?
Nope.
Wow, I can't believe that. Anyways, but I played 1.5.2 forever, and 1.6.4 is just that little bit like better. I don't even really know what's changed between them, but 1.6.4 does feel pretty nice. And so yeah, I'm like that's all I need. I don't need banners. Okay? I don't need shulker boxes. I don't need drowned. I don't need...
The drowned really annoy me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They are pretty irritating. They're not as bad as the Phantoms, though.
Yeah. I mean,
Have I ranted?
at least you can sleep and get rid of the phantoms.
Yeah.
Drowned are just always fucking there.
Yeah. Have I ranted about the phantoms on here yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. Can I?
Sure. Knock yourself out.
I can't believe how awful phantoms are as a mob. Okay? Because the whole functionality of having a bed for forever, it's just you get to skip the night and you get to set your spawn point.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if you just don't want to skip the night, if you're in a safe place, like you're in your mine and it's nice and lit up, there are no like dark caves or anything, you know, there are no monsters I have to worry about. I'm underground, right? So maybe I just don't sleep for a couple days, okay? Because I'm just mining, I'm having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter, right? I don't want to have to be like, oh, actually it's been 3 days since I slept, so I should probably go to sleep now. Or else the next time I go outside, I'm just going to get fucking murdered.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. I can't believe how dumb it is. And so, a lot of the time I play with the sound off because
Right.
I'm listening to a podcast or something, so I don't hear the phantoms. I'm not like looking up all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they always catch me by surprise.
yeah, and so I'll just be like, I'll just go outside, and then I'm like, just minding my own business, and then boom, I've just been attacked.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe I don't have a bow, you know, and so I can't just shoot them out of the air, so you have to wait for them to dive bomb you, and then hope that you can get them with your sword. It's just...
And they still hurt you, and even when you have a ton of armor, they still do a lot of damage.
Yeah. And so I'm like, it just irritates me because they already added the hunger bar, which a lot of people think the hunger bar was a mistake because it just made it, you know, it made having to eat into this constant thing instead of food, because food used to just heal you. It used to be that you didn't have a hunger bar. Food was just something you could carry on you so that if you got attacked, you could eat food and you could heal. You know?
I don't mind the food.
I don't mind the food just because they had it in 1.5.2, so I was used to it. You know, so I wasn't pre-hunger bar, you know, so... but I do see the criticisms for it. But just having one thing that you kind of have to pay attention to... And especially because on normal difficulty, at least on 1.6.4, you can't starve to death. It just brings you down to half a heart. So you're still like fragile. You know, you can't be like running around chasing monsters while you're starving. But, you know, you can survive that way and just be really careful until you can get some food. And then you just eat food and then you can heal up and then you're fine. You know, so it's not that bad. But when you add having to sleep and eat, and both of those are just passive things that you have to pay attention to all the time, especially with sleeping, because it's really hard to keep track of how many days it's been since you've slept, because there's no like counter.
Right.
The other thing is there's a hunger bar. You can see, oh, I'm at 2, you know, meat legs of hunger. You know, I should probably eat soon.
Yeah, you should have like a tired bar or something, you know?
Yeah, if they're going to add that, if they're going to make this a thing, if they're going to make phantoms a thing, there should be some way of knowing. Because especially when you're underground, you have no idea.
Which is, it's Minecraft. That's the whole point of the game.
Yeah. So, you know, sometimes you have absolutely no idea. And if you're not paying attention, even when you're above ground, you might have no idea how many days ago you slept.
And they just have it. Phantoms just have a habit of slipping from your mind.
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of rare as if you're sleeping often, so you like forget about them completely.
Yeah.
And then you go outside after having not slept for a while, and then all of a sudden you're dead.
Yeah. It's atrocious.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, in the Java version, Okay, you can turn phantoms off.
Mm.
And I've started just playing Java version as long as I'm only playing single player. Because, honestly, I don't think that the Windows 10 version is an upgrade. I think it gives you less control over your game, and the only benefit is that there's multiplayer, and we hardly ever play multiplayer.
Right.
We did for a while, but now Cool Guy World is dead.
Yeah.
So...
sad day.
So yeah, I've just been playing Java version because you can literally go into the world settings and just say, Phantoms, get them out of here. And so I can play the latest version of Minecraft and not have to worry about sleeping.
Right.
Because I think that's a ridiculous addition to the game. You know, to just have something where there's, without warning, you could just be like attacked by some flying creature. Because because you've been getting a lot of work done and haven't slept. You know, you can tell when I'm not getting work done in Minecraft because I'm just like sitting around and then I'm like, oh, it's getting nighttime, I'll sleep. You know, I'm just sitting here in my house. You know, whereas if I'm like, I'm exploring or mining, then I'm not sleeping. And people, the other thing is, I've read forum posts about other people who also dislike phantoms, and there are these phantom apologists in the forums who they just go, well, you should just carry a bed on you 24/7. It's that simple, you know? And I'm like, that is so...
But then you set your spawn point there.
Irritating. That, first of all, you set your spawn point there. Second of all, you still have to keep track of what time it is.
Yeah.
Third of all, you're wasting inventory space carrying a fucking bed everywhere.
Because I use up my inventory space pretty quickly, and then I have to put it in a chest.
Oh yeah, dude. Especially when you're mining, which is the main reason that I'll skip sleeping for a couple nights. You know, because it's not like I'm traveling around long distances from my base that often. You know, most of the time, it's because I'm underground. And so I have to be paying attention to what time it is so that I can sleep every once in a while. Or else the next time I resurface, I'm going to get dive bombed by a fucking monster.
Right.
You know? And so they're like, you should just carry a bed around everywhere. And I'm like, when you've been mining for a while, you get to the point where every single slot of your inventory is like, is precious.
Right.
You know? You start having to make decisions. You know, you pick up some ore and you say, oh, I don't have any space for this ore. You know, what can I throw away, you know, to make space for this, you know? So I'll throw away some flint, you know.
Honestly, carrying around a chest would be more useful than carrying around a bed.
Yeah, but at the same time, then you have to, like, go back to those chests and, like, get your shit. And it gets complicated. But anyways, it's just a waste of time carrying a bed around everywhere. And it's just so, you know... It doesn't make it more immersive. You know, it actually brings me out of the experience because I'm getting irritated. You know, I think the beds were fine the way they were. I think that it shouldn't be mandatory to sleep. You know, I said this when I was ranting about it on my Snapchat story. I was like, what's next? You know, am I gonna have to shit every once in a while? You know, am I gonna have to fucking call my parents?
That would be funny.
Call my parents every once in a while, or else I'm gonna get homesick.
You have a hunger bar and a shit bar, and you're just like, the more you eat, the higher your shit bar goes.
Yeah, and then you gotta go out. You gotta go shit somewhere.
And then you get blown up by a creeper with your fucking pants down.
Yeah, and if you shit too close to your house, it's gonna make you sick. It's gonna raise your sick bar. You know.
Yeah. It's gonna give you a status ailment.
Yeah.
Like potions. God.
I'm gonna have to drink water every once in a while.
If you piss in the lake that you get your water from. Yeah.
So yeah, I think phantoms are dumb. That's the gist of it.
If I wanted a life simulator to be awful, I would just do life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the thing is that it's just like Ark. Like Ark, you literally have to shit in Ark. I don't know why people play Ark. Because you literally have to shit.
What, you're not a fan of shitting in video games?
It's so dumb. Why? That's so stupid. I would watch Jason play Ark, because that's all he ever did, was just play Ark all the time. And he would have, like, pages of his inventory filled with his own shit. And I'd be like, Jason, what's with all the shit in your inventory? And he's like, oh, you can use it for crafting stuff. You can make like I don't know, like fertilizer or something. Probably. I have no idea. I don't remember.
I like imagining this character having like bags of shit on him.
Yeah, he's got like one of those huge traveler backpacks, and he just opens one of the pockets, and he's like, yeah, I've been shitting in this one for like months, bro. I've been saving it up. Because he had so much shit in it, and there was like an entire page of his inventory. Because also, I think you have like an unlimited inventory in Ark, because he had so much stuff on him all the time. Like he would be like, oh, I need one of these things, and then he'd scroll through his inventory for like 5 minutes looking for one thing.
Imagine if, in Doctor Who, he brings in one of his new acquaintances, and they brings her into the TARDIS, and she's like, wow, this thing is crazy. He's like, yeah, it's infinite. Opens the door, and he's like, this is my shit room.
I just shit in this room.
Yeah, this room is just a fucking cathedral full of my shit.
Nice.
And she's like, I'm leaving now.
Dude, did you ever watch Doctor Who? I forget.
Yeah.
Were you into it?
Yeah, I stopped watching like the 12th season or something.
Okay. Which one was that? Was that Matt Smith?
No, that was Peter
Capaldi.
That's the one after Matt Smith, right?
Yeah.
I watched like one or two seasons of him and then stopped.
Yeah, I watched
the old guy.
Like 2 episodes of Peter Capaldi.
1.5 seasons.
Okay.
Of him, yeah.
They didn't switch. They had him for multiple seasons?
I think they had him for 2.
Huh.
Because I watched one with him, and then I remember the season finale had like a...
Don't they usually switch once a season, or am I crazy?
Matt Smith was on like 3.
Really?
And I think also, so was...
I guess I don't remember that much about Doctor
Daniel. God damn, what was his name?
There was...
Can't believe I'm forgetting right now.
There was David Tennant.
God, I'm retarded.
And what was
sorry.
The guy? What was the guy before him?
I'm sorry to all those Doctor Who stands out there that hate me right now for forgetting one of the best ones.
I used to be super into Doctor Who. Me
too.
I think it was a good show for a long time.
Yeah. I don't ever plan on watching it ever again, but I did really love it when I was watching it.
Yeah, I was like, man, what was the 10th Doctor's name? It was like Craig something? I don't know, anyways.
Wait.
The like bald guy? Like the first of the reboot seasons.
I think he was the 9th.
Oh, was he?
I think David was a 10th.
Oh, yeah, because it's 9 and then David Tennant was 10.
But then they had like that Matt Smith section where they're like, oh, there's a whole doctor that nobody ever knew about.
Really?
There's a war doctor, yeah, in between. So like it kind of like moves them up a little bit, but not really for real because they're still considered the 9th and 10th.
I don't even remember that, bro.
It's like right before Matt Smith got put out, in the 3rd season with him, when his death was coming near. There was like this one of the season finale was all about like the war with the Daleks.
Huh.
It's been like years since I've watched that, so I could be getting something wrong, but that's the way I remember it.
Did the gas mask episode give you nightmares?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my god.
That
was one of the scariest things I'd seen at that age.
Yeah, me too. I watched it with my sister.
That was the first fucking season.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that doctor was only on 1 season.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone hated him.
Yeah, he was an asshole, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I watched it with my sister, and I remember that episode scared me for like a long time. I think that episode's like...
It would still scare me, man.
That episode's... But I mean, like, after I watched it, like, I continued, like, thinking about it frequently, and it would, like...
Yeah, me too.
That's also where I got, like, my fear of, like, air raid sirens. And so I would just... and that transitioned slowly into when I was watching The Walking Dead, and I was afraid that the zombie apocalypse was coming, that I would constantly be like, I think I hear air raid sirens. You know?
Didn't you say that a couple days ago?
Yeah, I think I told you guys about that. Oh, wait. Dude, but that time I really seriously, I think it was like the beginning of a song or something that they were playing at the baseball fields, because I like opened my door of my car, and I just heard and I was like, what the fuck? Because you know, I've been all apocalyptic because of the COVID thing. And there have been, dude, there are formations of helicopters that fly over my house.
Oh yeah.
And this is a new thing. Like,
really?
It used to be, we used to see helicopters occasionally, but it would always be like one helicopter just every once in a while. Whereas like this, like 2 nights in a row, I saw like they would be in like lines of like 5 or 6 helicopters all flying together. And it was just like creeping me out. So yeah, and so I heard the air raid sirens. I was like, this shit's on right now. It's on. This is happening, you know.
Well, the military base uses the LT Murray like all the time, so
yeah.
So maybe they
well, they're out there.
So maybe they just like changed one of their routes or something.
Maybe.
Well, their practice routes.
But because you know, I'm used to them doing stuff out there, but because, you know, it's the LT Murray is behind my house. Right. Like there's the fence and then the LT Murray, and so like they do bombs and stuff out there sometimes.
I see them driving in the Ellensburg Road.
Yeah,
all the time.
And so yeah, sometimes one time they set off like a big bomb on the bombing range, and I was sitting in the living room. And out the window, I was like, the sky is orange, and this was like at night.
Wow.
And I was like, there's orange out there. Like the sky, like it just looked orange. And I looked out the window, and then it was like, it just like slowly faded. And then I was like, what the fuck was that? And then a couple seconds later, I just heard, and I was like, wow. Holy balls, dude! What the fuck? Shit's crazy. Or one time I used to go on walks out there pretty regularly, and occasionally I would see like tank tracks and stuff out there. So that's pretty sick. Anyways, back to the Doctor Who thing. Ah, fuck! I forgot. What?
Gas masks and the kids.
The kid. Anyways, that episode was really creepy. Man, there was a reason I started talking about Doctor Who, though. What got us on to Doctor Who?
Shit.
Oh, yeah, his shit. Oh, I think I was just gonna say, don't you think the TARDIS was actually, like, really cool?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of cliche and stuff, but I remember being like, that is really sick. Like, they would just tell you like a new thing about the TARDIS. They're like, yeah, the TARDIS is also like can do this thing, and you're just like, whoa.
One of my favorite lines was when one of the doctors was like, imagine like they're like trying to discuss the size of the inside of the TARDIS, and he's like, imagine like the biggest spaceship you can even imagine or you've ever seen in your life, and then he's like, and then forget it because this is infinite. And in like, you know,
yeah.
I just loved that. I was like,
love it.
I love that approach, being like, imagine. I think I've actually used that in my writing before. Maybe even in David's Epic. I was like, just imagine this crazy thing, and then forget it because this is like way bigger than that.
Nice.
You know? Yeah. I love that description because I never heard it before.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good show, and I really liked Matt Smith. He was actually,
he's my favorite.
I don't know if Matt Smith was my favorite or David Tennant was my favorite, because I did really like David Tennant too. But I just think Matt Smith was a lot nicer. Like, he was really nice, and like David Tennant was also like a pretty nice guy. But I don't know, Matt Smith, he had his doctor had a very like kind,
Yeah.
and caring energy.
Yeah.
And
He was my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was very charming.
And he had a way better sonic screwdriver than David Tennant.
Oh yeah.
David Tennant had a fucking lame sonic screwdriver. It was just like,
yeah.
oh, it's silver and got blue light on it.
And Matt Smith is also, his reign as Doctor is also supported by how high budget the show was at that point.
Yeah.
Because like now it's low budget with all these like things they're doing with it, and then like David Tennant like made it popular enough, the show popular enough to get it a high budget, and then left.
The other thing is that
because it was really low budget when it first got rebooted.
Yeah. The other thing though is that dude, there's some terrible special effects in the Ninth Doctor season.
Oh yeah.
There are some god awful special effects in that season. I remember even as a kid watching some of those episodes and being like, that is the dumbest thing I think I've ever looked at.
Yeah.
Where like, I don't know.
And the Matt Smith plots and special effects were both so much more thought out.
Yeah, dude.
I know. They were insane.
Some of the Matt Smith episodes were almost like Black Mirror-y. Like they gave you they made you like think about shit pretty hard. Like, holy shit, man, the future, bro.
The Weeping Angels didn't get me as much as the kid, the gas mask kid.
Oh yeah.
But they still were pretty freaky.
Yeah.
Not from a like psychological, like it didn't like make me creeped out for like the rest of the day like the other one did.
Yeah.
But like like watching it was anxious, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember. I think I was freaked out about Weeping Angels for a little bit, but yeah, definitely not quite as freaked out as with the kids. But yeah, I just remember, especially because they had that one episode that was like, the image of an angel is an angel, and so after that, I would see like pictures of them, and I'd be like, fuck this, bro, fuck this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, nowhere is safe now, dude.
And then the fucking Statue of Liberty was a Weeping Angel.
Oh, yeah.
That was a little weird, but...
Yeah. I hardly even remember that one. I vaguely do, but...
Because, I mean, like, this is New York we're talking about. Like, there's never probably a point where nobody has visual sight of...
Yeah.
Of the...
It's the city that never sleeps, man.
Yeah. Of the Statue of Liberty.
Although, I don't know. It's a pretty big statue. I was gonna say, I guess it is on like a separate island, so like it's not like in New York City or anything. But it's still a pretty big statue, and it's probably visible from a distance. Yeah,
and even if you're not looking directly at it, like I'm sure with all the millions of people, like they always have some visual
has like
of it.
line of sight.
Right.
Somebody, it's within their like peripheral at least, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Imagine if the entire fucking Statue of Liberty moved because it was a Weeping Angel, and then like it was stuck that way for like decades because everyone like
until it just happens to be that nobody is looking.
Yeah,
at it.
the like split second that it can go back, and then they're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, does it count? I don't remember. Does it count as being looked at if you just have a camera looking at it? Because if so, I'm sure that every business in New York has security cameras.
Oh yeah.
And at least a few of them are just constantly like.
There's probably some.
And I'm sure I'm sure there are ones that are focused on the Statue of Liberty at all times, right?
Probably even inside.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
So.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, because there's parts of an episode I think where they're like, as long as someone is surveying them on the camera, you know.
It starts to get a little bit
diluted or
because then you're like, because kind of the whole idea of Doctor Who is that like it's not like supernatural stuff going on. It's like it's more, you know, it's all like scientifically logical,
right.
You know, futuristic. The sci-fi, like even the ghosts are sci-fi ghosts. You know, like the episode. Oh, that's another episode that kind of traumatized me was when they were on the moon library.
Oh yeah,
with the shadows.
Was a fucking Good one.
Yeah. Dude, that one scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I remember...
that didn't, like, traumatize me like the other one, but I was like, damn.
The, like second shadow thing.
Yeah.
I remember I used to...
That's just an example of one that is just, like, so well made because it's high budget. Yeah.
But I remember, like, if I was, like, in a room, I would notice, like, if there were two light sources, I would be like, I have two shadows right now. And
I had days where I was like, hey, look at that.
And then I would, like, literally, like look around the room and be like, there better be two fucking lights in here right now. Like, that happened to me multiple times where I was, like, actually, like this, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I need to make sure that there's fucking two lights in here because I have a second shadow right now. And, you know, I was a kid. I was a dumbass.
Like, hey, who turned out the lights? Yeah. Remember the Water of Mars?
I remember the name. It had a lot to do with
water and people, like, being zombified, I think.
I don't remember.
That was kind of like an anxious episode. I wouldn't really say it was, like, terrifying, but...
Yeah. Yeah. I
remember the Ood spaceship where they, like, he, like meets Satan?
Kind of. I remember one of the Oods, like, went nuts or something.
Right. And there was a double episode. I don't remember why or what happens, but I remember he goes, like, to a plane or something, you know, on the TARDIS where, like, fucking Satan is chained up or some shit. And I'm like, oh my god.
I think I do vaguely remember that. That's, like...
I kind of want to watch that episode again.
Surprised I have... I wish Doctor Who was still on Netflix.
Oh, yeah?
What's it on now? Is it on anything?
I don't know, actually.
I think that's why I stopped watching Doctor Who, was because they stopped putting it on Netflix.
They had the Peter Capaldi seasons. They had the second, I think.
Yeah, but they didn't have it for a long time. The problem was that, like, they released that season, and then it took, like, years before they put it on Netflix. Do you remember that?
They did that maybe I watched it pirated or something with my brother, actually, when it came out. I'm going to look this up. I watched it with my brother when I went to visit him in Spokane when he was in college.
Streaming service.
And he just had it on some platform.
It's on HBO Max.
Oh, boy.
Dog. That's stupid, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it was on Netflix for forever. You know?
Yeah.
It was, and I think they even had some of the old episodes on Netflix for a while.
They did, yeah. I watched a couple of them.
And yeah, I'm like, that's the only reason I think if it continued to be on Netflix, I would probably still be watching Doctor Who. I mean, I don't know, because I don't know if the episodes get that bad later, you know, but
I remember not enjoying the Peter Capaldi season episodes that I watched. There were a few gems, but I remember not liking it and him at nearly as much as Matt Smith.
Yeah,
Matt Smith was, like, golden the entire time.
Yeah,
I loved all those episodes. Yeah,
and I do remember I wasn't that fond of is it Peter Capaldi? Is that his name? Have I been messing it up this entire time?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
All right. But yeah, I don't remember, like, connecting with him all that much. I do remember, like, I didn't hate him or anything. I wasn't like, oh, fuck this guy.
Peter Capaldi is the 12th Doctor. Okay. Oh yeah, 9th Doctor is Christopher Eccleston.
Chris Eccleston, yeah.
And then there's the 13th, which is Jodie Whittaker.
Oh yeah, okay.
I haven't seen any with her though.
Yeah, me neither. I don't even know.
I've seen her face, but I haven't watched any episodes.
Yeah, I think I've heard of, like, some interviews that of hers, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think I would have kept watching at least the Peter Capaldi. I think I would have at least finished the Peter Capaldi season if it was on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, the other day I was like, man, I should watch Doctor Who. You know, it's been a long time. You know, I should just have some nostalgia, just watch some old episodes. But I couldn't fucking find it anywhere. I'm just HBO, man. You know,
Yeah.
Netflix and
Of all
Hulu.
things.
How much is HBO? It's like expensive,
Too
isn't
much.
it? Yeah.
And that sounded like not even like HBO Go. Like that sounded
Yeah,
like,
it's
like a higher one.
HBO Max. I don't know.
Wait, what?
I might be able to. No, it says specifically HBO Max.
I'm gonna look up the price of HBO Max.
Cause I don't know, man. Like the same thing with I didn't watch I still haven't watched I've watched the first season of Game of Thrones, and I watched a couple episodes of the second season.
It's $15 a month.
Oh my gosh. But it's just so much work, man. I can't afford to be fucking paying for HBO Max.
They
You know?
got Aquaman.
Nice.
Just like every other service.
Can watch Aquaman again.
I liked Aquaman.
Yeah. Maybe I can get I bet I could watch Doctor Who pirated on my Fire Stick. Cuz you can watch like anything on I have an add-on which basically lets you watch basically anything for free. Like it's I that's how I watched Game of Thrones. I never actually watched it on HBO.
Oh yeah.
I watched it on this add-on for free, and the only downside was that it took a long time for it to load because it had to like search through all these streaming services and then like find one that I can stream it from, and but they were like in HD. I didn't have to worry about getting viruses on my computer, you know, and yeah, it was nice. So I might see if I can get Doctor Who on there, because I am kind of in the mood.
Right. Yeah.
Man, we've been talking about Doctor Who for a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, we're making it through this one pretty decently.
Yeah, we haven't struggled.
Have you
Minecraft
made
and
any
Doctor Who.
good Persona progress recently?
Yeah, well, I had a sabbatical or whatever, like for the last couple of days, because we could start hanging out at your house while your parents were gone.
Yeah.
And so I haven't played as much in like the last 3 days, because I was playing like an average like 10 hours a day. And, but...
You were going ham.
Yeah, but today I did play for like 3 or 4 hours.
Yep.
And before dinner, and... I didn't even the palace I'm doing right now is, I feel like, significantly longer than any of the others I've ever done. Like I started in a safe room, and I spent like all 3 to 4 hours, like 3.5 somewhere in there, in that palace, and I'm still at like 2/3 or like a little over 2/3.
Wow.
And that's not normal for me, because like I'm playing on easier difficulty, so like it doesn't take me forever to do a fight, and so it's all like exploration.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, because with you it takes a long time because the fights are hard, and but like usually I can breeze through them pretty easily, because this is just really long.
Yeah. I mean, you saw how I was doing on that fucking boss fight. That was killing me, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like the major boss either. That was like a mid-level, like a halfway boss.
Right.
Not even. You know, and God, that kicked my ass, dude. I really have to, like, you saw, like, I really have to, like, make major decisions on, like, what move I do in battle. You know, whether or not I attack enemies. Because most of the time, when I'm exploring the palaces, I sneak by enemies if at all possible.
Yeah, I mean, that might actually be kind of detrimental, since you're like kind of underpowered when you get to the bosses that you have to fight.
Maybe,
you might want to spend like a few in-game days like letting yourself just fight like the low guys and over.
I think I might do that. I think I might once I have a infiltration route secure,
right,
then I might go in for like an entire day
Yeah, and like
and
farm
just
the XP and stuff.
Yeah, and just like fight until all my guys get tired.
Because
I might even do that like every day until the deadline.
Right.
And then just.
Yeah, because that would be good because like I noticed that you were like severely underpowered against those guys because they can one hit you like consistently.
Yeah, because I do think about that, but I'm also trying to get the palaces done in time, and so I'm trying not to lose too much health and SP on the way to like the bigger guys,
Right.
So I'm having to like sneak around all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I will take like a couple in-game days and either explore mementos or just like attack all the like clear out the palace, like attack everybody that I come across.
The only as far as I've gotten in Mementos though, like the enemies haven't gotten nearly as powerful as the things you find in palaces.
I've noticed that too.
So I think that unless you want to go like really deep, I think that palaces are probably the better way to go.
Yeah. But at the same time, I have been getting pretty deep. Because what level of you are farther than me. What level of mementos have you gone to? What's the deepest level?
I don't even know because like I don't check where it is at the on the big map, but I think the enemies probably are around 30, so probably around your level.
Because I've gotten down to level 6, I think, is the deepest I've gone.
Okay. Probably around there, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because have you gotten to... There's like one level that's like a safe room.
Yeah.
On level 4, so you're past that.
Yeah, I've had like 2 or 3 of the safe rooms.
Okay. Oh, okay. So then you're probably pretty far compared to me.
And I could go farther. I just don't ever usually go to Mementos unless I have like a hit to do,
And I do have one sitting around, but I might do that after I've beat Kaneshiro.
In fact, usually when I go to Mementos, I don't even fight like the guys because it takes too long and they run away from me. Because I'm like significantly higher than the point of Mementos that I'm in. And because my characters are all like level 60 and I'm still in like 29, 35 like territory.
Gotcha.
And so it just I can just like drive around.
Even where I'm at, like the Mementos enemies are like significantly underpowered.
Right. Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I like because I'll just melee them, usually. Like
and I don't think they give enough XP to like. Can you one hit them or do you like 2 hit them?
Well, I probably like. Well, I'll probably like one hit an individual enemy, but there'll be like multiple of them.
Right. Yeah.
So it does take a couple turns. It's not like I just like go. Unless I have like some ones that are like weak to fire or something, and then I can just Miragi all of them.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like a significant amount of time in real life that you want to spend like just farming mementos, really easy mementos guys, then I guess you could do that because they're not going to give you nearly as much XP as the.
Because I might do that like in between palaces, but probably not like during a palace. There's no real point in doing it during a palace.
Yeah, because you can get more XP during palace.
But like right after you beat a palace, you have like 5 days where you're just like doing nothing. So I figure you can probably do that during that time, right? Unless they're just like, we should just wait and see what happens. Like, because Morgana is always not letting you do the shit you want to do.
Yeah. I started actually... I did the first...
well for a while.
Yeah. I did the first few palaces where I was just... I would get to the infiltration route and then wait until calling card day to send the calling card. But I kept running into the problem of not being able to increase my confidence as often because when you already have the boss beat and you're waiting for the thing, like nobody is asking you to go to the palace, and so everyone is asking you to hang out. And so then I'm like able to, because I was trying to romance on, and you need her to ask you at first to hang out, and she wasn't doing that because she kept asking me about going to the palace, and so I started just beating the palace as quickly as possible so I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cause for me,
which is another reason that I prefer the easier difficulty, because I want to get my social, I want to get as much out of like the game from like having high social things, high social status and high stats and high confidant levels, and you get less time to do that stuff if you're fighting guys too much.
I'm just gonna be happy to have beaten a video game if I beat Persona, so I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I want to finish the game.
Yeah. Cause
I never finish video games, and I like Persona, so. But yeah, and I'm also just not too worried about romancing because I don't have a fucking anime waifu.
Right.
You know, I can't date Yusuke. So I'm like, I'm probably going to date the nerd girl that Scott and Colton hate.
Oh, Futaba.
Yeah.
The gamer girl.
Because
I
figure that's most my speed.
Making them uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't know, just the gamer girl vibe.
Yeah. She's all like a serious hacker and stuff.
Yeah.
She's a
see, and not a fake gamer girl who just has an Xbox controller and
bites the cord.
Chews on the cord. You know, like a real computer savvy.
Yeah.
You know, and is she actually that much younger than you? Didn't they say something about her being young?
Yeah, they think it's weird because she's so much younger than you, but like she would be a freshman and you're a second year in the game. She just looks really young.
Great.
So
it's an anime.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean I've seen like shots of her. She doesn't look like a child or anything, does she? Is it just me?
I don't think so.
I mean, she looks like an anime girl. You know, like, did they want them to put wrinkles on her or something? You know, whatever. You know, I don't care. And plus, she's related to Sojiro, and Sojiro's dank, so
yeah,
you know, I can get some, you know, dude, that means Sojiro can be my stepdad.
Yeah,
or my father-in-law.
Yeah,
and I can say, Daddy, can I work at the coffee shop with you, Dad? And then I'll just have like her over in my room while he's running the shop, and we're just gonna like have like banging, like loud sex, and he's just gonna be like trying to make coffee, and he's just gonna hear his adopted daughter screaming in pleasure.
Oh my God.
Just upstairs, just like fucking shit's banging around.
Yeah. His coffee's spilling.
Yeah, he can see like the French press. The like coffee is like, you know, like in an like when people like see like notice like an earthquake's about to happen and shit starts like jiggling around. Their coffee cup starts like like that's what he's gonna like look at his coffee and be like, oh my God, it's an earthquake. And then he just hears ah, and he's like, oh my God. He realizes
it's not an earthquake.
That's no earthquake. That's my daughter.
Oh man.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm having a good time like 50% of the time I'm playing Persona, and then the other 50% I am in a rage.
I like those odds.
But yeah, I should probably grind because I do feel like I'm probably super underpowered.
Cause yeah, that I was noticing. I was just like, man, you have to try to get around these people that can one-shot you.
Yeah.
Like you're on the receiving end of what I usually do to my opponents in that game.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude, yeah, every boss fight is just an absolute ass greaser. Like, it really, like, my hands are sweating.
Oh yeah.
I'm pissed off. I'm fucking mad. I'm just in an absolute state of rage.
And like,
the
I think
entire
the
time.
third boss fight is significantly more dangerous than the second one. And like,
Yeah.
like he doesn't attack as often or is more complicated, but he does a lot of damage. And so if you're getting one shot by like normal enemies, that will be a big issue.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I was trying to get all the way to the treasure room in one go, because I read an article that said that that's a good strategy. But honestly, I think I'm gonna stop doing that because. Hold on. Again, did I clip it this time? I didn't.
No.
I can't believe that. Anyways, but I didn't do that for the Kamoshida Palace. I didn't do that for the Madarame Palace. So I'm just gonna not try and speed run it. You know?
Well, the Madarame Palace doesn't even. You have to go out because of the door.
Yeah. But I did it. I went in there a couple times. I went in a couple runs. So I'm like, why am I trying to do it all in one?
What is the strategy behind just doing it in one run?
I think it's so that you have time after you've gotten infiltration route to go back and grind for a while.
But that's just like a no-brainer. Like if you want to do that, like
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's like a strategy.
But I think
It's like do really well. And then things will be easier for you.
Yeah.
Is a great strategy.
So I'm like honestly, I think I'm going to leave. I'm gonna leave the palace next time I play, which I'm probably gonna play tonight. I'm gonna leave the palace, and then I'm gonna go back in, and I'm gonna do the grinding, like I was saying, where I just fight everybody I come across, and I'm just gonna do that.
And you can go back in a safe room, and most of them will respawn, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that until I kind of like run low on SP, I guess, and then I'll just go home, come back. I'll make some curry, make some coffee, figure it out, and get myself up to like a good level, because I have like a couple days, I'm not like strapped for time.
Oh yeah, like they give you like 3 weeks most of the time.
Yeah, this one is pretty short. The Kanashiro one is pretty short.
Yeah, it's shorter than the others.
He only gives you like 1 week, I'm pretty sure, right? After you enter the palace, right?
I think I was afraid because it was going to be like 1 week, but that was just
Not Makoto's deadline. No.
But like her deadline was like a week, but then
She gave you.
But then there's a further deadline for the pictures and it's like 20 days or.
I don't know. It was pretty. It was relatively short.
Huh.
I don't remember. Either way.
I can look it up.
All right, do that. But either way, I'm not strapped for time, and so I can definitely do that for a while, grind a little bit, And the main thing is I think making some curry, now that I can do that, is going to be really useful for me. Because I don't know what happened to all my coffees. I felt like I was making coffee pretty regularly. But I didn't have any. So I guess I must have used them all at some point, but... Let's see, how much...
Okay, this is...
Got any...
I'm not sure if this is going to...
Got any intel?
This is like a character sheet.
Just Google like how many days do you get for the Kanashiro Palace or something.
That's why.
Okay.
How many days does Kanashiro give you? Is what I tried. not usually something people look up, I don't think.
This Google break is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Do the do.
Here
With Mountain Dew.
I think I found something. I just read 18 days, but I'm gonna check if on like the thing. But I'm gonna check if that's like the actual like, because I'm not sure if that's what they are actually talking about. That's smaller on me. What are you doing?
I'm booming you, man.
Whoa. Hey. People are listening to my mouse. Oh, it's so loud. Man, this is like everything. Okay.
Okay, so you
Wait.
entered the bank for the first time on 6/20?
On this fine Sunday, we'll be attempting to infiltrate the Palace of Conshiro. The gang started to answer a bank. Okay. Yeah, that's when she gets purposely kidnapped.
And then when's the deadline? This is all the first day stuff, right?
This is all just like how to do the palace, I think.
So look, wait, scroll up.
What?
Keep going. So that's 6/29, and they have 10 days. So I guess July 1st must be, or July 10th must be
Oh, right.
the deadline, right? So then, yeah, I guess he gives you 20 days, about.
Somewhere in there.
So yeah, I guess he does give you a decent amount of time. So yeah, I'm like, it's a good strat if you really want to like finish the game, you know, like as soon as possible, I guess. But you know,
Looks like 7-3.
mm-hmm.
But yeah. Or something like that. I don't know. But yeah. Maybe they beat it early though. Or did we? I don't know.
I don't even know.
Anyway. Yeah. So.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Persona.
Persona.
I think we've talked about this on like at least a little bit about Persona on like 3 different podcasts.
Yeah.
Already.
Well, it's all you do anymore.
Yeah, it's for real.
You're a neat now, Shane.
I play Persona and I make podcasts.
Yeah. You've even got a waifu. Would you get an Antakamiki body pillow?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Now I know what to get you for your birthday. How many days you got until your birthday, Shane?
What day is it? The 24th?
Yeah.
Like 24 or something?
Nice. That's enough time to order a body pillow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna order you a body pillow.
You don't have any money.
It's gonna be a surprise. He'll never see it coming.
Yeah.
Everybody donate to my Patreon so that I can buy Shane a body pillow for his birthday. Just kidding. I never get anybody presents because I'm too broke.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gotten to the point where instead of just giving, I just give nobody presents.
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to get one person a present one time and then everybody else is like, well, why didn't you get me a present? Does he like this person better than me? You know, and so I'm just like,
Very conscientious.
the first time I buy someone a present, after that I'm gonna have to be buying presents regularly.
That sounds like an excuse to be a cheapskate.
It kind of is, but I'm also like, I don't have a job.
Yeah.
So I can't be spending that much money on myself. So I probably shouldn't be spending it on other people also.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I'm just committed to, I don't get people Christmas presents. I don't give people birthday presents. You know, I feel kind of bad about it because but at the same time I'm like, you know, you don't have to get me a present. People, I mean, you guys gave me a dirty Minecraft panda plush for my birthday. So it's not like you guys got me a Rolex or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, we literally went to Target and bought a clean Minecraft panda and then rubbed it in dirt and shit and gave it to you.
Yeah.
Not actual shit, but you know.
No shit.
Yeah.
But so, you know, I don't feel too bad. But you know,
Hey.
and I just I didn't ask my parents for a birthday present.
Uh-huh.
I don't actually remember if they got me a birthday present. I don't think they did. Which is fine, you know. I don't think presents are that great. Like, just because most of the time people either just ask you what you want or they have to guess, and it's a nice gesture trying to guess what I want for my birthday. But a lot of the time, you know, people just aren't good at knowing what you want for your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And so you end up being like, oh, thanks, you know. And I'm like, honestly, you know, I'm not going to be mad at you if you don't know what I want. You know, you can ask me. I'm not going to be like, I thought we knew each other, man. You know. I'm not gonna. So it's like, honestly, I think money is a great present, or at least a gift card. I think gift cards are a good present because at least you're having to figure out what to get them a gift card for, but it's still like money that I can be like, I'm gonna choose what I buy with it, you know. So I think gift cards are. Do you think gift cards are a reasonable present?
Yeah, I think so.
As long as it's not like a $5 gift card to like Olive Garden or something.
Right. Because it's more thoughtful, or it's more like personable than like just cash.
Yeah.
But
at the same time,
cash is more useful. So
if you give me cash and you at least write out a card,
right,
like not just like a card you
That's
pick out
true.
and then you put your name on it, but you like write like a this is happy birthday, you know, I love you. Here's some money, you know. I'll be like, you know, I think that's very nice.
Yeah, that's plenty.
I feel like that's a very generous present, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, I can't believe, you know, you just got me cash. Don't you know me? You should have gotten me this thing or this thing. You know, I'm like that's nice, you know. Or even if you just slap cash in if you just go, happy birthday, man. Here's $20. Here's. You know what? If you give me $5, I'll be like, thanks, dog. You know, because I don't care. You know, but I think gift cards are a good balance. Because, you know, if you know that, like, your friend is a gamer, right? Maybe you give them, like, a $20 gift card on, like, the Xbox store or something like that. And then they're like, sweet, now I can buy, like, a third of a game. You know?
Yeah.
But you don't have to like figure out like, oh, does he already have this game? You know, is he gonna like this game?
Right.
Is this game gonna be, you know, the wrong version of this? And you know, you can just leave it to the other person, but it's a nice gesture.
I think Amazon cards are a good gift card because there's so much on Amazon.
I used to have that be my present every year. I was like, my mom. I would just be like, Mom, can I just get money to buy stuff on Amazon? She's like, yeah.
I used to ask for iTunes gift cards until I got Spotify.
Fucking iTunes, bro. Ugh. I remember...
And now I can't even use the last iTunes gift card I got because Apple hates me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Have we talked about that on here?
I don't think so.
We might... Either way. It's a whole thing. Fucking two-factor identification, am I right?
It's taken me, it's been like 6 months now since I first started trying to fix it.
Yeah, it was like mid-spring, probably early spring even.
I think, yeah, because it was before I left, so it was like January. It was like mid-winter, actually.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Because it was when I still lived at my old house, and was on winter break.
Oh yeah, I think the first time I heard about it was in the spring, but it had already been going on for quite a while.
That's probably true, yeah. Because, yeah, like, somehow my, the phone number connected to my account is my ex-girlfriend's number. And so I can't access the account and to buy anything, or even, like, I can, like, listen to the music I have on it for a while, I guess. But, like, I can't alter the account. I can't, like, buy any more music because if I try to log in, I even give the right login information, and then they go, "We just sent you this this code on your phone number," and I'm like, "I didn't get a code. I didn't get a code," and then I go and they were like, "Oh," and I'm like, I put in my phone number when I'm like, I didn't get a code, and then they're like, verify your phone number. I put in my phone number, it's the wrong phone number. I put in a bunch of different phone numbers that it could be. None of them worked. And then I didn't even have my ex's phone number anymore. Luckily, David still had it in his contacts, and so he still had it. And I put it in and it worked. And I was like, God damn it. And then I'm like, hey, Apple, this isn't my phone number. I want it changed. And you know what they fucking told me?
What did they tell you, Shane?
After a long series of loops through the fucking internet, I came to a point where I had to verify it using that phone number.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh.
So to change the phone number, because you don't have access to the phone number, you need access to that phone number so that you can.
They send you a code to that phone number so that you can change your phone number. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's so fucking retarded. And so I'm stuck here. And so I go, hey, Apple, I don't have access to this phone number. And they're like, okay, we'll email you in like 2 weeks. And then that never happened. I wait there for fucking 2 weeks, never get an email. And then I did the whole process over again. I think got even farther where I was even more hopeful, like in like April or something, or May. And they never contacted me again. And I'm just like up to here with it. I'm like, oh God.
See,
it's so frustrating.
Imagine, okay, you get locked out of your house. Your key is locked inside your house, and you can't enter your house. Okay, and you call a locksmith, right? You say, locksmith, I need my house unlocked, because I've lost my key. Okay, and then the locksmith just goes, all right, well, just send me your old key, and I'll send you a new one.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I don't have the key. That's why I need a new key.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, cool. Just send me the old one, and I'll send you a new one as soon as possible.
And then you're like, and then you finally get it across to them that you don't have access to that key, and they're like, okay, I'll get back to you in 2 weeks. And you're like, I can't just not live in my house for 2 weeks.
I'll sit on my porch for 2 weeks and just wait to get into my own home.
I'm like, isn't there some other... Because when you call the bank and they need to verify that it's you, they have like a lot of different ways of verifying that it's you. And so if you don't remember one, they're not like, get out of here, you're not who you say you are. They're like, okay, here's another one that you can use. And then you get that right, and they're like, okay, we know it's you. And yet, in order to fucking get onto iTunes, the most important thing to get into iTunes right now is your phone number.
Yeah.
Not even your password or like other questions or anything. You can't do any of that. All they need is your fucking phone number.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck do you do if you don't have it?
Are you even able to download apps without access to your iTunes account?
Well, my phone is connected to a different iTunes account that's on Family Plan.
Gotcha.
So I don't have to worry about that for my phone.
Is there a way maybe of like transferring your stuff from your old account to your new account?
Once I get this figured out, I definitely will try that.
Yeah.
Or what I'm gonna do is...
I was able to do that with my like Audible because I lost my password to my old Audible, or I didn't lose my password to my old Audible account, but my old Audible account was connected to my high school email, and my email got deleted, so I wasn't able to log in. So I was like, hey, can I switch my accounts? And they're like, well, are you the same guy? And I was like, well, the old email is NolanH19, and the email I'm trying to switch it to is Nolan Hanna 2019. So I think it's a good bet that I'm the same person.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Sounds good," and I was like, and so they just like transferred my shit over. But I'm sure it would never in a million years be that easy with Apple.
Mm-hmm. What I'm
Think
probably
different.
gonna have to do is call the like Apple support number, which I got when my phone fucked up. I got this phone number, and I got a real person. It took like half an hour for them to actually like pick up the phone. I was listening to jazz for like half an hour.
I love that.
And then finally I got through to someone, and they couldn't help me with the current problem I was having, but I bet they could help me get into my own account.
Yeah, because then with at least a real human being, you can be like, I don't have that number.
Yeah.
I need to change it to a new number.
Verify who I am without this godforsaken number.
Because that's the problem with like YouTube and Apple and all these big companies, is that whenever you have a problem, if you email them, it's a robot reading it.
Yeah.
So it just guesses what you're talking about, and then we'll just be like, I think you can just do that, and then you're like, that's not a solution to my problem.
Yeah.
You know, and so it just goes around in circles, you know, whereas if you actually get a human being, you can be like, this is the problem I'm having.
Yeah.
How do I remedy this right now, please? You know,
And
but the worst part is that I have literally been hung up on by like support people before. And so I'm like, you know, you get like transferred like 4 times, and then you keep getting moved to a different place, and then you keep having to repeat yourself saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You get to the point where you're just sitting there and you're like, "Hi, my name is Nolan Hanna. I'm having this problem. I want," you know, and they're like, "Oh, hold on a second."
Yeah.
And then they transfer you,
Listen
and
to
you get
jazz for 20
transferred,
minutes.
and you get transferred, and you hold, and you hold, and you hold. And then the last person, they're just having a long day, and they just don't want to deal with you. And so they go, "Yeah, just give me a second." And then they put you on hold, and then you're on hold for like 5 minutes. And then it goes, "Your call is very important to us." And then you wait a couple more minutes, and then it just stops, and you're just like,
Yeah, for real.
"So I did all that for nothing?"
And I gotta start all over if
Yeah.
I want to support.
And the best part is when you get the same people when you call them back, and then they transfer you to the same people again. And they're like, "Oh, didn't you just call a little while ago?" And I was like, "Yeah, your friend hung up on me." You know, and it's just, I hate talking on the phone.
Yeah.
Unless it's, like, I like talking on the phone with, like, my friends. I don't like talking on the phone for anything business related. I prefer to talk in person or
Absolutely.
in emails.
Yeah.
You know, because emails, you can think about what you have to say.
Yeah.
You can write out information. That's another thing, is whenever you have to spell something and you've just got like the person on the other end who like just can barely pay attention to what the fuck you're talking about. And so they're like, yeah, what was your password? And you're like, 86, and they're like, A6, and you're like, 86, and they're like, 86, and you're like, 55, and they're like, what was that? And I'm like, 5, and they're like, okay, and you're like, NH, and they're like, N8, and you're like, NH, and they're like, NA, and I'm like, NH, and they're like, could you say that one more time? And it just like keeps, and you're just like, this is so bad.
I had a pretty good experience with the guy that I was on with, but yeah.
Or
Luckily.
the main thing for me is my name.
Oh.
Because Nolan Hanna is hard to get across over phone. For some fucking reason. They're like, what? And what's your name? And I'm like, Nolan Hanna. And they're like, all right, Colton Hanna. And I'm like, Nolan Hanna. And they're like, was that Dylan Hanna? And I'm like, that's Nolan Hanna. They're like, Noah Hanna. And I'm like, Nolan. That's Nolan. They're like, Noann. And I'm like, Nolan.
Nolan.
And they're like, Nonna. And I'm like, Nolan. N-O. And they're like, N-O. And I'm like, Lan. And they're like, Len. You know, and it just goes in circles like that. And then we move on to my last name. And I say, Hannah. And they go, oh, Hannah. And I'm like, Hanna. Or I say Hannah, no H at the end. Cause I'm trying to nip it in the bud, right?
Yeah.
I just start off swinging with no H at the end. And they go, I've had this literally happen to me. I'm not making this up or exaggerating. I said, Hannah, no H at the end. And they said, so, like, Anna, Annah? And I'm like, literally no. No.
Flip it around.
Hannah. With no H at the last letter part. You know? Or the same, and this, it's the same thing in restaurants. I've gotten to the point where I really try to enunciate my name.
You should just like say like John Smith or like
Yeah, I think about doing that.
the easiest, whitest names ever.
I think about doing that, but for some reason, it's like they can tell. I'll pick like a regular name like Steve or something. I'll be like Steve, and they're like Steve, and I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Judging me like that. Shut up. Maybe my name is Steve.
You should go with Roland.
Yeah. My uncle's name is Roland.
That's so awesome.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
pretty
that name.
cool. Brett and Roland, my gay uncles. They have a restaurant. Actually,
Awesome.
they might not have a restaurant anymore.
Probably went under.
Yeah, I really hope not, but it sounded like they weren't doing too good.
Was it a good restaurant?
Oh, it was a good restaurant. I loved that restaurant. We went there every time we went to California.
What do they sell?
You know, it's like comfort food mostly.
Burgers and steak and whatever, or like fast food. Or like...
Well, we usually went there for like breakfast, but
okay.
I'm sure they had like burgers and stuff. But you know, they have like home fries and like
Right. Okay.
you know. But it was nice food, and he would always like, he was a good chef, so he would like cook for us when we came, and you know, it was good. It was a good little restaurant, but it was in a really small town, and I'm pretty sure they had to like fully close down, and nobody was like ordering delivery or anything.
Oh
so
yeah, that sucks.
yeah, not to be such a downer, but well, we're hitting the mark. It's about 1:40, so this is a pretty long one actually. But
yeah, once I finally get a hold of that Apple ID, I am going to completely purge it of even that password, because just to make sure that she doesn't like, you know, fuck with it, you know, because I don't know what would happen. I don't know if she did that, because I thought I had access to it like at some point, so maybe she fucking tried to fucking
steal it from you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know,
dude. Vindictive exes, man. We had a very similar problem with like we had an even worse problem honestly with Carter Hammond with the stage tech. The whole reason he was such an awful person and was always fucking with the stage tech so hard was because he dated our president, and then she dumped him because he's a dick. And then one time, I'm sure I've told you about this, but one time this guy Carter, we had this really nice stage tech booth at the middle school. Yeah. We had this nice booth, and it was locked all the time. Only stage tech is allowed up there We're not allowed to have our friends up there most of the time. You know, it's pretty strict. And for some reason, the people at the office, without communicating to the stage tech department at all, just let this guy up into the stage tech booth, who was no longer a student at Sela High School, had not been a student at Sela High School for like 3 years, and he was not affiliated with the stage tech, and they just let him up in our stage tech booth. And he apparently he just went up there and decided that he wanted to fuck with our shit. So we had labeled everything on the stage tech board, on the soundboard, so that we know what the different inputs are, because there are like 30 inputs on the fucking thing, and they are unlabeled, and so you have to just remember, like, oh, the CD player's on this one, that microphone's on this one, that microphone's on this one. We had like 6 stage mics, two more wireless mics, and then we had a whole rack of receivers for more wireless mics. And so those were always changing around, and so we had labeled all of them because we needed to know on the fly, this is what this input is, so that I can change it and not have to be like, oh, was stage mic 6 input 12 or input 15? I don't remember, I need it to go up right now. So we labeled the whole thing. We put labels everywhere, and he just went up there and took all of the labels off of our board, and then wrote us on an index card, wrote us a note about how we should be running events. And I'm like, you don't go to school here. You are not part of the stage tech. You're just a man. You're just a strange man who is fucking with a high school club for no reason.
Yeah.
What kind of a psychopath are you? What kind of a insane person does that?
Yeah.
They're like, imagine if you graduated imagine if 2 years from now, I decided to break into the middle school, essentially, and go up into the stage tech booth and fuck with all their shit. I feel like you should get, like, charged for that.
Yeah.
Like, that's strange, because you might say, Nolan, why would you ever do that? You don't even know the kids who are working there anymore. And you'd be right. None of us had even talked to Carter Hammond before. Even Natalie was gone, his ex-girlfriend. Or it was her last year, I guess. But either way, he had no reason at all to be there. And it was, like, just so irritating. Because I'm like, what's wrong with you, guy? Like, because his whole MO was just to make our lives hard. It's not like he was, like, trying to help us out or anything. And then we ended up getting a meeting with the principal of the middle school, and finally got like actual communication between the high school stage tech and the middle school faculty, because they had no idea what was going on. They never talked to us about anything that was going on. And so we talked to him about this situation, and he was like, you're seriously telling me that an adult was let into the stage tech booth by one of our office workers? And we were like, yeah. And he was like, and they didn't even tell you about it? And we were like, yeah. And he was like, that's ridiculous. And I'm like, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
That's stupid. And he's like, from now on, nobody who's not part of the stage tech is going to be allowed up there by our staff, because that's ridiculous. And you guys are going, and it was like so great, because that was the first time in my entire stage tech career that we had actually had a real talk about stuff like that going on, because that shit had just been happening. Like, they had let Carter in multiple times. They even let him run an event one time.
You, like, finally got acknowledged.
Yeah.
As like, you know,
as like
your club
people
being, like,
who are
mistreated.
running an organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane.
And a necessary one at that. Like, everyone treats it badly.
Apparently not, because they don't even have it anymore.
Yeah.
Once again, I complain about stage tech a lot on this podcast. But, well, anyways, we're running long. This has been the Catfish Connection. I'm Nolan.
And I'm Shane.
We'll see you next time.